There are a lot of great martial artists in fiction. Batman, Cassandra Cage, Iron Fist, Shang-Chi, Kenshiro, and of course Son Goku himself. No, I'm just kidding. Goku's actually not that good of a martial artist. Seriously though, there are a lot of amazing contenders for greatest martial artist in all of fiction. But I think it's clear which martial artist is the best in terms of sheer raw skill. The one and only strongest creature on Earth, Yujiro Hanma. Warning, this video is entirely objective and your opinions and feelings don't matter. Only mine do. So yeah, tough pill to swallow, Yujiro is the best martial artist in fiction. Now you're probably thinking something stupid like, "Nuh-uh, Beerus and Whis have lived for a gazillion years, so they way better martial artists," or something dumb like that, but I don't know, maybe I'm just being pessimistic. Regardless, that's a big no from me. We don't say stupid shit around here, no smooth brains allowed. No, time is largely irrelevant in the discussion of skill. Who can beat who is only relevant if you can back up that 1, the person beaten was skilled, making the winner more skilled than them, and 2, that person was beaten with skill and not just speed, strength, durability, or hacks. As an example, Zeno literally has 0 martial ability so far as we've seen, and he can solo his entire verse with a single hand wave. More to the point, I can't go saying Yujiro is the best martial artist in fiction without proof, now can I? So I'll be listing off the reasons as to why I believe Yujiro Hanma is the GOAT of martial arts skill. First off, it's worth noting that, contrary to many people in fiction, time is actually relevant to his skill level. He is described by Baki as constantly improving his martial arts. At the start of the series, he's already second to none in skill, meaning he'd be above the likes of Prime Doppo Orochi, who is an extremely skilled fighter in of himself. Taking a step back, if he's constantly improving, then he could, in theory, become more skilled than somebody while fighting them. The degree of improvement is unknown, so its impact is speculative at best, but definitely worth mentioning if he's improving in skill without even training. Like when he's eating, shitting, fucking, sleeping, etc., he's still growing in martial skill. Also, something every contender on the list should have at the very least, Yujiro has learned and mastered all martial arts on Earth. If you haven't done that or something comparable, mastering the practical application of hundreds of martial arts, thousands of styles, millions of techniques, and billions of movements, then what are you even doing here? Another couple of basic abilities martial artists in the running for this title should have: Yujiro can, at a single glance, pick apart opponents' weaknesses and techniques as well as predicting techniques in advance, such as what Yujiro does to both Kureha and Baki during their fight. Yujiro similarly deduces that Muhammad Ali uses a self-made style similar to boxing after watching his fights, and instantly creates the style's greatest and most crippling weakness. Just like Baki's Go Taijutsu technique against Kureha, Yujiro sees and instantly picks apart the Kiai technique during the Raitai tournament. Now I hear your sweaty little nerd fingers tapping at the keys in the comments section typing something like, "Well, if he knows all martial arts, isn't he just explaining a technique he knows?" No! The Kiai and the Benda, 2 techniques he uses in the series, are not techniques he inherently knows just by knowing all martial arts. It's actually more likely that his knowing these techniques is a byproduct of his ability to copy any technique he sees after seeing it once, and to a degree as good as or greater than the original. But I'll touch on his copying ability later. For now, the reason why Benda and Kiai were more likely copied than learned is because the Benda is only taught by one master, Kunimatsu, Yanagi's master, who we have 0 proof of them ever interacting, doubly so as Kunimatsu is still alive. Furthermore, the Kiai is not a technique from an actual style, and we are never even told it is from a fictional style. We see both Ron and Doppo use this, despite one being a Chinese Kempo fighter and the other being a karateka. This could be attributed to the fact that it is a Kempo move, and it extended to karate because karate comes from White Crane Kung Fu, Monk Fist Boxing, and Incense Shop Boxing. Shout out to Jesse Enkamp, awesome videos. But that's much more speculative than Yujiro simply dissecting the move when he saw it and copied it, since we know he's capable of both of these things already. Occam's razor applies, so we go with the simplest answer. Then we get to one of Yujiro's greatest fights, against Kakukayo. In his fight, he figures out the ins and outs of Shaoli, a technique that took Kakukayo 120 years to learn, and he instantly knows its weaknesses, creates a brand new weakness based off of his understanding of the technique, and then he proceeds to copy the technique Kaku spent over 80% of his life mastering at a single glance, and then he proceeds to do it just as well as Kaku. Admittedly, not to keep picking on Dragon Ball Z, Goku does have a really good copy feat in that he does copy the Kamehameha instantly, a technique that took masters 50 years to master. A good feat, but obviously not as good. We also see Yujiro use Aiki against Pickle in Son of Ogre, with Aiki being a technique so difficult to learn, only 10 people in the last 100 years have mastered it with a compliant partner, and only one person, Shibukawa, has mastered it in real combat ever. Another feat of either Yujiro's raw skill in learning martial arts or copying martial arts. Later on in Son of Ogre, we see another brilliant display of Yujiro's copy ability. We've seen him copy Shaoli, an extremely difficult technique to master, taking even a master martial artist 80% of his life to master it, in a glance, but he only rivaled Kaku's showings, i.e. taking no damage from his own hits without guarding at all, something that Kaku at the beginning of the fight says could kill Yujiro. Well, Baki created a brand new style called the Imaginary Style, and Yujiro, after again only seeing it once, copied it and did it better than Baki. Dude literally created a style, and Yujiro hits him with that, but I wore it better. He also totally dissects Baki's self-made technique, the cockroach tackle, in real time as Baki is using it and after he uses it on Yujiro. When looking at everything Yujiro is capable of, being able to predict full entire fights in advance, picking apart styles and techniques at a glance, copying them just as easily, knowing all martial arts, instantly improving and constantly improving, and all of his techniques, it's clear to see that he's one of, if not the best, martial artist in fiction. These are only a couple of examples from 3 of the 5 series of Baki, but these are some of the best I could think of. If I gave more examples or talked about some of his busted-ass techniques, this video would go on forever, and I'm sure those of you still listening are tired of listening to me and have had more than enough of my voice, so I'll let you go. Alright, hopefully you all finally see my objectively correct opinion, and if you disagree, leave a comment down below. You probably already have, and I doubt it was a nice comment, but I appreciate you boosting the algorithm for this video. Alright, I'ma head out. Peace.